It seems this cataclysm affected nature as well. I've been spotting small critters out there, creatures tainted by the stain, yet not so much as to be dangerous. A wolf cub, whose parents no doubt perished in their den, making the child seek safety elsewhere. An owlet, whose gaze seems to pierce my very soul when our eyes meet. A rabbit that has his heart exposed and not beating, raised into unlife by some dark power. And those are the safer and less twisted ones. Still, looking at them fills me with a sense of longing and comfort, as well as the desire to see the world return to a better state. With that in mind, I've set up small snares around the inn, hoping to catch some specimens to tame and make useful. If those men and women in the stagecoach have a reminder of something fragile and precious to keep them company, it will inspire them to struggle and persevere through their hardships. A curious man entered my establishment today, his face obscured by the helmet, cowl, and armor covering his body, carrying enough implements of battle to tear apart the most daunting foe. But the stagecoach was nowhere to be seen. I asked him if he was with a group, but he denied the notion, saying he has no interest in that mountain or the world at large. His words upset me, but I could tell there was more to him than he let on. After some questioning, I realized that he was seeking those little flickers of hope, the wax-coated wicks that held upon them the spark that brought sanity and life to us. When I asked him why he searched for them, he replied with a frustrated scoff, cutting off my questioning right then and there. I did not think this man could be trusted, but his prowess and power were evident even to me. As such, I proposed a deal. I would place a notice above the hearth that the heroes frequent when at the inn. He would have to negotiate his own fee with them for his grisly services. He scoffed once more, but I could tell by the tone that he was amicable to the idea. Perhaps his expertise will grant them the edge they require to overcome what lies beyond my inn. There is only so much I can learn from second-hand accounts. I've hit a wall in my research. The stories passed on to me by the haggard victims of this catastrophe can no longer provide me any proper insight. As such, I have been looking into other ways of acquiring potential knowledge. One thought of mine was to get my hands on genuine parts of those who fell into darkness. But I fear their mere presence will disrupt the integrity of my home, making folk avoid my inn. I believe I have found an appropriate compromise. The spreading corruption out there primarily targets the minds of men, driving good folk into madness and oblivion. Yet its effects can be felt at large, twisting and warping landscapes, plants, and importantly for me, animals. If I can get my hands on tainted samples of such creatures, there is no doubt in my mind about the potential boons that can be provided to the would-be hunters. I finished documenting my knowledge on the changes to our kingdom. It is separated into 4 terms, each corresponding to a region where this disaster took root. The towns and cities seem to be overtaken by fire-worshipping fanatics, bent on burning every page of human knowledge, reveling in a basic, primal urge of destruction those dancing tongues bring down upon everything they touch. I included most basic techniques to subside the flames and efficiently cut down the fanatics before they can empower themselves with the accelerants. The decision to send our armies into the woods to contain the spread of corruption seems to have backfired immensely. Droves of husks wearing armor, full of roots and vines, now soldier on, carrying orders that come from God knows where. I've added some knowledge on ways to bypass the armor and strike away the branches that hold those corpses together. Our fields and farms seemed to have become rotten and diseased, peasants and lords alike gorging themselves on the repulsive harvest to inherit its plague. I've outlined the best ways to remove the bulbous growth and illness clusters from their bodies without direct contact with the pus and ooze. In the coastal villages, rising tides seemed to have swallowed much of the coast and its denizens. Those denizens rose from the waters changed, indoctrinated by some pelagic deity. Most of them seem to be controlled directly by a tentacled creature of sorts, so I bring the reader's attention to those as weak points. I merely hope these findings find use in the hands of those who can stand up to these terrors.